Walk down any high street in Britain today and you will feel a change in the air. It is a heaviness that has nothing to do with the gray weather. For the generation born after 1990, the social contract has quietly shattered. The promise was simple: go to university, get a decent job, and you will have a better life than your parents. But for James and Sarah, that promise was a lie. They are the first generation to be poorer than the one before them, and now they face a biological deadline. They're facing an economy that seems designed to prevent them from starting a family. This is not just a personal tragedy, it is a national emergency. Globally, the panic is already setting in. China spent decades enforcing a strict one-child policy, creating a generation of so-called little emperors. Now they are desperate to reverse it. They realized too late that a society of one-child dynasties cannot support an aging nation. The policy was abolished, but the birth rate did not recover. In America, the Trump administration even raised the idea of a $5,000 baby bonus. Governments are scrambling to bribe couples into parenthood to stop the economic collapse. But in the UK, the situation is perverse. While the world tries to incentivize birth, we are actively punishing it. We are not offering bonuses, we are imposing penalties. The warning lights are flashing red. The UK birth rate has plummeted to just 1.44. That is drastically below the replacement level needed to keep our society standing. This is not a mystery, it is math. Data from the OECD confirms that UK parents face the most expensive childcare costs in the developed world. In London and the South East, full-time nursery fees can easily exceed £2,000 a month. That is not a utility bill. That is a second mortgage. This creates a trap. Sarah realizes that if she returns to work, she is effectively handing over her entire salary just to have someone else watch her child. She is working for free, and when she leaves the workforce, she loses not just income, but her future pension and career progression. This is the motherhood penalty. And the fiscal drag makes it worse. The tax system is rigged with cliff edges. If one parent earns a little too much, they lose child benefits entirely. When you add student loan repayments and the loss of personal allowance, the effective tax rate on young parents can exceed 60%. It is a tax on aspiration. Add to this the housing crisis. 30 years ago, a home cost 3 times the salary. Today, it is 9 times. They are paying off a landlord's mortgage instead of building a family home. And in the rental sector, there is no security. How can you nest when you could be evicted at any moment? You cannot paint a nursery in a house you might lose next month. If we do not change the course, we face a demographic winter. An economy relies on new workers to pay for the old. We are building a nursing home with no nurses. Who will pay the taxes to fund the state pension? Who will staff the NHS to care for the aging population? The math simply does not work. The result is the one-and-done phenomenon. Even couples who want large families stop at one because they simply cannot afford the financial risk of a second. This is the Japanification of Britain. Low birth rates lead to low demand, which leads to stagnation. It is a doom loop that no amount of immigration can fully fix. We treat children as a private luxury good like a sports car. But economically, children are a public good. They are the infrastructure of the future. Our political system is obsessed with the short term. But a baby born today is the taxpayer of 20 years from now. We are eating our own future. Other nations are waking up and offering bonuses. But the UK is sleepwalking into extinction. The question is not if we can afford to support families. It is if we can afford not to. We often dismiss the falling birth rate as a simple lifestyle shift. But when a nursery bill rivals a mortgage parenthood, stops being a choice and becomes a luxury asset, we have effectively priced the average worker out of their own biology, prioritizing asset bubbles over the survival of our communities. Fixing this requires a fundamental rethink of what our economy is actually for. If the relentless pursuit of GDP growth destroys the very families supposed to enjoy it, then the machine is undeniably broken. We must stop treating children as a corporate expense and start seeing them as the ultimate investment in our infrastructure. The baby bus is not a statistic. It is a distress flare from a generation pushed to the edge. Ignoring it will not make the problem disappear. It will only ensure that we do. The future is waiting for us to decide if we still want to be part of it. The system is stacked against you, but knowledge is power. Subscribe to Stickman Money School to understand the real forces shaping your future.